We are at the Needles District doing the Canyonlands Figure 8 pack rafting trip. We're here with Adam. It's gonna be a fun time.
For this trip, in addition to our regular backpacking gear, we're each equipped with a packraft, paddle, and PFD.
My name is Henk and I'm from the Netherlands. And we are on our way for 13 years now. I bought this vehicle new 20 years ago, and the camping part I built it myself. It's my own design.
So cool.
Once we left the Jeep road and hit sandstone, we really had to keep an eye on the GPS to keep us on trail. Eventually we hit dirt again, and then it was easy to know we were on track.
We just got to our little beach down at the Colorado. It's beautiful.
So what is a pack raft anyway? Well, it's a small, durable raft that's lightweight enough you can carry it in your pack. This opens up so many possibilities. We're about to float a few miles down the river, and then we'll be able to get out on the opposite side to the remote maze district of Canyonlands.
248.
248, we gotta do 8 miles to Spanish Bottom and then hike up to the dollhouse for camp. We gotta get moving.
We were surprised by how slow this section of the Colorado River was flowing, but we all settled in for a nice lazy float.
Oh man, this is gorgeous. All right, we're coming up on the slide. We think it's called the slide because there's a giant rock slide that came down and kind of squeezes everything into a narrow little channel. Sounds like some rapids. Looking like fun. Woo!
So we stopped on a sandbar, this nice beach, for a few minutes. We all put a little more air in our rafts.
We are up above the confluence, about to round the corner, and hopefully see some people looking down on us we can wave to. There's the green flowing right into the Colorado.
We thought the green and Colorado combining might speed the river flow up, but it continued at a nice leisurely pace.
Danger, Cataract Canyon. We just arrived at Spanish Bottom, drying off the pack rafts, filtering water, and heading up for camp tonight. So we met some really nice people from Colorado that shared their tent site with us while we packed up our boats. Thank you, it's so nice to meet you.
It was great to meet you.
This is my first time to Spanish Bottom, and it is cool. Beautiful, lush, lots of cactus. Beautiful bottom.
Beautiful bottom.
The hike up to the dollhouse may have felt like walking upstairs for a mile, but it was nice to be on trail that was so well marked and maintained.
If anyone's wondering if pack rafts really feel like 10 pounds heavier than your normal load, the answer is no, it feels like 20. Well, I think we're mostly up. That was a climb.
I've never been so happy to see a sandy river bottom. So today, between all of our hiking and paddling, we did 19 miles.
Had a great night. It's beautiful here. I was a little bit chilly. I forgot my beanie and I chose not to bring any pants. I kind of wish I'd brought my thermal pants. Just for the evenings. With shorts, my legs kind of stick to my pad, which is kind of annoying.
I had this corner of my sleeping bag got damp yesterday because I had a little bit of a puddle in my raft. So, so that got a little bit damp, so I just slept with it like a quilt and I slept well.
We are on the little hike to the granary, stashing our packs because we'll be back in 15 minutes. It's starting to warm up. Looking forward to getting down to that spring and drinking as much water as we possibly can and then some. All right, we are above Surprise Canyon, which is down there. Beef Basin's out there. Needles and Chesler Park's out there. Colorado River's right down there. So I'm guessing Brown Betty's right on the other side of this.
It was nice to sit in the shade for a minute and take in the granary. Next was the dollhouse. We got to travel through some narrow passages and even had to take our packs off in a few places to fit.
That's cool. Sweet.
Wow, it's like a little hidden passage.
I love it.
Next, we were off to the land of standing rocks, where we ran into some campers who topped off our water for us.
Lunchtime.
For lunch, I had a wrap with salami and cheese, and had some persimmon slices, and I'm gonna have some of this Snickers bar.
I too am having salami, cheese, and cucumber wrap. I wish I brought mustard, but it's very good. The salami and the cheese keep pretty well out here, actually. In an effort to be ultralight, I didn't want to carry oars and hiking sticks, so I just bought some little furniture footstool savers, popped them on, 1.25 inches to fit these manta ray paddles. And then my hands started getting raw from all these lines on the carbon, and so I taped them up. That's better, but I still wish I brought my poles. Plus, these are getting pretty banged up just hitting sticks and rocks and stuff. Fun experiment, but next time I'll bring both.
Just gone down one story.
Okay, come on down, Adam. All right, we're here in Shot Canyon, descending the cool stairs that are held by nothing. Hope I don't drop my GoPro.
Very sturdy.
Being good shoes, good jump shoes.
We're here in Shot Canyon. Made the hike down the fun stairs. Hiking out and over to Water Canyon.
It was a hot day, so when we found a little water, we stopped to filter again.
And Water Canyon.
On the saddle between Shot and Water Canyons, we had a beautiful panoramic view.
Whee!
Oh yeah.
You go like this, and like this, and like this.
I didn't see it. Do it again.
And I sit on my butt. And this. How's that?
Yvonne, we wish you were here because there's a garter snake right there, a nice sized garter snake that you would love.
Yay, we made it to the spring,
That
and it's
feels
so
really
beautiful and cool. I guess I haven't seen a ton of desert springs, but this one is quite the drizzle.
This totally reminds me of Coyote Gulch.
After a nice easy hike along the river bottom, our trail started to become a little more challenging. The ground was loose sand and rock, and there was no one well-defined trail.
This is definitely the toughest trail we've done yet, and I would not want to come up it. It is, see if you can see the trail. Yeah, I didn't think so. And here's the trail going out. You go down these sketchy rocks, across that limestone, down another rock slide, up there, and across the side. This is a scramble.
Especially with a pack, this is brutal. We knew we must be getting close to the river again when we started to see those pesky tamarisk trees.
So we were planning on camping in Water Canyon, but you have to be 300 feet from the water source, and there were no spots 300 feet from the water source.
Or spots, period.
Or spots at all, even close to the water source. So we came down, we're all the way out to the Green River, the mouth of Water Canyon, and we're finding these cool little sandy spots all over the place. We were afraid that being a Saturday night it'd be inundated with rafters, but they're pretty open, so we're gonna pick the best one and call it camp. Adam just informed us that we hit 11 miles today, just barely. What I would do differently is carry at least 4 liters of water up from Spanish Bottom, because fortunately we were able to top off with our nice Colorado and Iraqi friend who gave us lots of water at Chimney Rock. Without that, we would have been struggling.
It's about to get fancy up in there. I was about to say something else, but it would have ruined yours. Decadence.
Decadent.
Adam and Steve got a little creative keeping the wasps away that night. Eventually, the sun went down, the bugs went to sleep, and so did we.
I think last night was the best night sleeping. It was pretty warm. And despite being 50 feet from the river, I'm not covered in dew, which is the first time that's ever happened to me. This was definitely the best place to set up our camp.
So last night, after we ate dinner, we were all visiting and we could hear all these mice chirping in the rocks over here. And we even saw some kind of popping out to talk to us. So they're pretty bold mice. They're used to having access to food. These are a lot of obvious campsites, and we've heard that they're pretty popular. So we knew if they could smell our food, they were going to eat it. But we used these odor-proof sacks, and we set them out. We didn't want them in our packs because we didn't want them chewing through our packs. We'd rather have them just eat the food. But yeah, I'm looking at this, and I don't see any little chew marks. Let's check Steve's. He put his OPSAC inside of another bag, and his looks good too. So I'm gonna say these odor-proof sacks work. I might still be a little bit scared to count on 100% in bear country. I'd probably still hang it, but those mice were like right here, so I think we have a winner.
Sunday, we're gonna try and make a hike. We're gonna paddle about 8 miles to Spanish Bottom and try to hike all the way out Lower Red Lake and Grobbins area. We'll see how we feel. If we don't feel up to it, we'll just spend the night up there, but I think we're gonna push to try to get it done the whole day. We were wondering if we'd be able to filter the green or not, and these little Sawyer minis do great. You've got to flush them about every liter, but they do a really great job filtering this. This is after a liter, still flowing pretty good.
I'm good. I know the ways of the river.
The Green River was moving quicker than the Colorado, but we were still on flat water with no rapids in sight.
Straight ahead is the mighty confluence. I know, it doesn't look like much. Here we are at the confluence. There's Teresa. Colorado River and the green mixing together. Looked like it slowed you down. Here we are at Spanish Bottom again with the dollhouse behind me. This time we're gonna exit on the left and hike up Lower Red Lake / Grobbins. All right, we got the National Park Service up here clearing out a whole bunch of tamarisk with chainsaws and hauling out the debris. Props to you guys. I'm having some more salami and cheese. What are you having?
Salami and cheese.
And?
Pepperoni, spinach, cucumber, cream cheese on a croissant.
All right, we just filled up our water, topped off. We're about to head up Lower Red Lake Trail, up to Elephant Hill, and then out to our car. It's about 7 or 8 miles. It's very hot today, and we all have at least 3 to 4 liters of water each.
We started off in another flat, sandy river bottom, but pretty soon we began to pick up some serious elevation.
I think this is the last time we will see the dollhouse. All right, we're gonna follow the trail all the way up there.
Just about the time we hiked into this canyon, it was time to start hiking up and into the next one. Now, when we left Spanish Bottom, I was carrying 4 liters of water. That's an extra 9 pounds, but trust me, it was worth every ounce. With all this climbing, your body generates so much heat, and I needed all that water to keep my body cool. We're on Devil's Lane. We've got one more of the Grobins to do. Then we'll be to Devil's Pocket.
Yes. On Shark Tank, we saw the Chapool cricket flour protein bars, and I've tried those and they were okay. And we contacted EXO and they gave us a couple to try out. So we're going to try EXO peanut butter and jelly protein bars made with cricket flour, which has 10 grams of protein and it's 2.1 ounces of weight. This is what they look like when they've been sitting in your pack in 85-degree heat. Peanut butter and jelly flavor.
You can tell the flavor's a little different, but I can't put my finger on how.
Tastes like peanut butter and jelly. Better than the Chapool bars. I'd probably give this a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. It's doable and it tastes better than most protein bars. Way to go, EXO.
Now we would join up with the Jeep Trail for the last few miles.
That's 5 miles from here to Colorado River. Toughest 5 miles I've probably ever done.
Or at least longest.
It felt a lot longer. It was hard.
Yeah. Heading into the narrow area. You can see where the mirrors and the top of their Jeep scratch right there. Someone's lost a lot of blue paint.
Yeah.
As we got closer to the end of our trip, we began to feel that sense of accomplishment that only the end of one's hike can bring.
Alright, we just made it back to the car. Feels good. It's been 3 days, 49 miles.
If you need a shower,
we need a shower. Favorite part of the trip?
The floating. The floating or there was that overlook coming into from Shot to Water Canyon, 360 degrees. That was pretty cool. But floating the green in the Colorado.
My favorite part of the trip was the morning float this morning. That was really fun, just waking up, getting out on the water. And I also like the 360 panorama between Shot and Water Canyon. I'm not ridiculously excited to repeat this trip. It was fun. I'm glad we did it. It was cool to connect the parks together, but it was rigorous, and the fun level to exertion level was not in the ideal range for me. So it was more exertion than fun or beauty. Although if we had a big group, which is impossible with the permits of 5, it would be a little more fun.
Agreed.
Best part of the trip?
Best part of the trip? Probably camp last night. It's really warm, peaceful, nice to be by the river, having finished that brutal hike down Water Canyon.
Biggest pain about the pack rafts is taking your PFD, because those do not get small, and I could probably fit 3 sleeping bags in my pack for how big my PFD took up. It just took up way too much room. And the permit system, I'm not gonna lie, was a pain. Getting a Needles backcountry permit, a river permit, a maze permit, and trying to understand what all the regulations are, it's confusing. I don't think they've got the Packraft thing quite figured out here yet. Especially since the Packraft permit only doesn't allow you to do anything below the confluence, I believe, and that's the main place anyone would ever packraft or be able to climb out of here. So I do think Needles, and I think Canyonlands needs to rethink and make packrafting more accessible, not more hoops to jump through. What hurts the most?
My shoulders. I'm trekking.
So what would I do differently next time? I would bring trekking poles, even though they're a little extra weight. I would consider bringing flip-flops because my feet were pretty tired of being in the same shoes every day. I would bring a beanie, and I would bring pants.
If I were to do this again next time, I would definitely bring the fuel for the stove. And I probably, if I knew it was going to be this warm, I think I would have left my running tights.
Been more careful and packed lighter. My pack was close to 40 pounds, I think. Full of water, the pack rafts. I brought some extra things I thought I needed, but more luxury items.
Look, I found the fuel. It did make it in the car. It fell out of my pack on the right here.
Oh yeah, that was by my feet.
Oh.
Thank you, Adam, for saving us and keeping us in warm dinner.
And not making us carry that fuel. So, thoughts on pack rafting in general?
Awesome. Get to places you'd never be usually before, because you gotta hike there to get there, or drive a ridiculously long way. So it was worth it.
I agree, super fun. That was probably the highlight of the trip, was being on the river. Huge weight penalty. I know it's only 10 pounds, but you definitely feel that over 3 days.
We've done that kind of hiking before, but you know, those steep, you know, in and out of the canyon, it's brutal with that extra 10 pounds because you're looking at more of like a 20, 30 pound pack as opposed to like 12 or 15. It's a big difference.
$1 million experience, wouldn't pay a dime to repeat.